What the?
Hey guys, this is Mrs. Klein
And Mr. Creighton.
here with you to start our podcast for lesson 17, The Influence of Islam on West Africa. As always, we begin with a guiding question, which is, in what ways did Islam influence West African society? There also are some vocabulary words for you to be aware of. They are Mali, Mansa Musa, patrilineal, and Songhai. All right, you guys, here we go with the introduction. During the 7th century, the religion of Islam spread quickly through the Middle East and North Africa. In the 8th century, trans-Saharan trade brought Muslim merchants and traders to West Africa. Over the next few hundred years, Islam spread throughout the region, first to Ghana and then to other areas. The people of West Africa often blended Islamic culture with their own local traditions. Islamic beliefs and customs affected many areas of life besides religious faith. All right, now we're moving into the spread of Islam in West Africa, section 1. Traders bring Islam to Ghana. Islam first reached Ghana through Muslim traders and missionaries. The king of Ghana did not convert to Islam, nor did the majority of the people. However, the king did allow Muslims to establish settlements within his empire. Many Muslim merchants and traders settled in Kumbi, the great market city of Ghana. Over time, a thriving Muslim community developed around the trans-Saharan trade with North Africa, which we've been learning about, right? Islam in Mali. To the south of Ghana, the Mandi also accepted Islam. Muslims showed tolerance toward traditional religious practices, which helped Islam to spread. For example, West Africans continued to pray to the spirits of their ancestors. In about 1240, the Mandi conquered Kumbi. They took control of the trade routes to North Africa and built the Empire of Mali. In 1312, a new leader, Mansa Musa, took over in Mali and became the first West African ruler to practice Islam devoutly. Like other Muslims, Musa made a Hajj, or a pilgrimage, to the sacred city of Mecca in Arabia. The Hajj was an enormous undertaking, covering some 3,000 miles. Musa reached Cairo, Egypt in July 1324, after 8 months of travel. A writer from Cairo described Musa's caravan as a lavish display of power, wealth, and unprecedented by its size and pageantry. After leaving Cairo, Musa traveled to Arabia to visit Mecca and Medina. Musa's wealth impressed the people and rulers of Arabia. He paid in gold for all the goods and services he received and gave expensive gifts to his hosts. All right, now we're going to learn about Islam in Songhai. One of the groups within Mali's empire was the Songhai people. In the 1490s, Muslims in the Songhai Empire rebelled. They placed Askia Mohammed Toure, a devout Muslim, on the throne. Toure established and enforced rigid controls to make sure Islam was practiced as he felt was proper. All right, now we'll find out a little bit about the religious practices. As Islam spread in West Africa, the people adopted new religious practices, in addition to ethical values, and learned the 5 pillars of Islam. West Africans also began to celebrate Muslim religious festivals. Alongside these new customs, West Africans preserved some of their old religious practices. Muslim leaders allowed them to continue religious traditions as long as they did not contradict the 5 pillars of Islam. So, for example, West African Muslims continue to demonstrate respect for the spirits of dead ancestors. Take it away, Mr. Creighton.
Thank you, Mrs. Klein. We are looking at section 3 now, government and law. In West Africa, the succession had traditionally been matrilineal, meaning the right to rule was traced through the mother or female relative rather than the father or a male relative. After the arrival of Islam, succession became patrilineal, so the right to rule now passed from father to son. After West African kings converted to Islam, they started to exercise more control over local rulers. In many towns and cities, Sharia replaced the customary law of West Africa, which was very different. Although laws were not written, everyone understood what they were and accepted them from long tradition. A chief or king usually enforced customary law, but did not give physical punishments. Unlike customary law, Sharia law is written law. Muslims believe that Sharia came from God. All right, Section 4, an emphasis on education. In West Africa, Muslims encouraged people to pursue an education. Under Mali and Songhai rule, Timbuktu became famous for its community of Islamic scholars and remained an important center of learning until the Songhai were conquered by Morocco in the 1500s. Several universities were built in Timbuktu, the most famous of which was the University of Sankore. At that time, it was one of the world's great centers of learning. The basic course of learning included the Quran, Islamic studies, law, and literature. After mastering these subjects, students could continue their studies in a particular field. Many kinds of courses were available, including medicine, surgery, astronomy, mathematics, and other sciences. The highest degree a student could earn at Sankore required roughly 10 years of study. When travelers and traders passed through Timbuktu, they were encouraged to study at one of the universities. Trade associations also established their own colleges where students learned about the profession of trading in addition to studying Islam. With their love of education, Muslims treasured books. Muslims did not have printing presses, so books had to be copied by hand. Mosques and universities in West Africa constructed large libraries of these precious volumes. The Arabic language, Section 5. Islam is rooted in Arab culture, so as Islam spread throughout West Africa, the Arabic language did as well. For Muslims, Arabic was the language of religion. The Quran, of course, was written in Arabic. All Muslims were expected to read the Quran and memorize parts of it. So, as West Africans converted to Islam, more and more of them learned Arabic. Arabic also became the language of learning since the scholars who came to West Africa were mainly Arab-speaking Muslims. Some of their students became scholars themselves and, like their teachers, they read and wrote Arabic. Finally, Arabic became the language of trade and government. Arabic allowed West African traders who spoke different native languages to communicate more easily, and enabled rulers to keep records and to write to rulers in other countries. All right, lesson summary. In this lesson, you learned about the influence of Islam in medieval West Africa. Islam left a deep imprint on West African culture. The spread of Islam in West Africa. Traders and missionaries first brought Islam to Ghana in the 8th century. The influence of Islam increased under the rulers of Mali and Songhai. Religious practices. Islam changed West African religion. Although many continued to show respect for the spirits of ancestors and to follow other traditional beliefs, they learned to adhere to the 5 pillars of Islam and to celebrate Muslim religious festivals. Government, law, education, and Arabic language. Islam contributed to different ideas about government and law. The royal succession became patrilineal, government became more centralized, and Sharia replaced customary law in some places. There was a new emphasis on learning, so people studied at Quranic schools, and Islamic universities. Timbuktu became a center of Islamic and academic study. Arabic became the language of religion, learning, commerce, and government. All right, guys. So going back to the vocab, you've got 4 of them. They are Mali, Mansa Musa, patrilineal, and Songhai. And again, that question, in what ways did Islam influence West African society? We made it.
I appreciate you.